Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is April 10th, 2025, and the administrative court have rejected La Liga's injunction request in regards to Dani Olmo and Pau Victor. Also, Ronald Koeman has once again come after Barcelona. And finally, Hansi Flick's team has set a historical record. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin this video with the news that the administrative court have rejected La Liga's emergency injunction in regards to Pau Victor and Dani Olmo. Now, as you know by now, the CSD, or the Superior Sports Council in Spain, gave Barcelona a win by stating that La Liga could not suspend the licenses of Pau Victor and Dani Olmo, allowing both players to play until the end of the season. And of course, Javier Tebas did not like that one bit, and he decided to appeal this decision and stating the following: we believe the CSD decision gravely violates the regulatory framework regarding economic control and the processing of sports licenses, undermines the general interest of the competition, compromises its integrity by breaching the principle of equality between clubs. Now, after making no statements, Javier Tebas filed an appealing the CSD's decision to a civil court, and in the meantime, La Liga also applied for an injunction to disallow Pau Victor and Dani Olmo from playing until the end of the season. Now, injunction is a temporary relief while a court is being decided. That's how Dani Olmo and Pau Victor were able to play for when Barcelona brought the case again before the CSD to see whether the players can play or not. The CSD said, okay, we're gonna analyze the case. We're going to make a decision. It's going to take until April. But in the meantime, we're going to issue an injunction allowing Pau Victor and Dani Olmo to play. So that was the temporary relief. Now that Barcelona have won the case, they get to play until the end of the season. And now that the Liga have appealed that decision, while that decision is being decided, La Liga wanted an injunction to disallow Pau Victor and Dani Olmo from playing. And the court said, I don't think so, Javier Tebas, so Dani Olmo and Pau Victor will continue to play. Now, this, of course, doesn't mean that the appeal itself is dismissed, only the injunction request. So, of course, Barcelona is still going to have to go to civil court and still going to have to, fight this appeal that has been filed by La Liga. But my guess is it's probably going to take until the end of the season. So even if La Liga win, who cares? The season will be over by then. And, of course, Barcelona will be able to register Dani Olmo and Pau Victor a normal way or through the proper channels for the upcoming season. Now, there's more in regards to Javier Tebas because, ladies and gentlemen, the CSD have elevated Real Madrid's complaint to the administrative court. Now, Real Madrid had filed a complaint against Javier Tebas for a tweet that he made in February where he revealed Real Madrid's position in an anonymous survey that was taken of all La Liga clubs. And Real Madrid filed this complaint because they stated that Javier Tebas had violated confidentiality rules. And this complaint has now been forwarded to the administrative court. So it's not just a paper complaint. Now it's actually a legal case where if the administrative court finds Javier Tebas guilty of violating confidentiality rules, they could punish him by giving him a fine between 3 to 30,000 euros. He can receive a public admonishment. He can receive a suspension between 2 to 15 years, and or he could be dismissed as La Liga president. Now, you might say, how is this relevant to Barcelona? Well, you know that Barcelona have also complained that Javier Tebas has violated confidentiality rules where he revealed Barcelona's VIP deal and what happened there. So if Barcelona filed their own official complaint, that would be Javier Tebas's second infraction, which could for sure 90 to 95% chance of him getting suspended as La Liga president. So another L for Javier Tebas, who, the funny thing is, some people like to collect there are a lot of collectors in the world, right? And some people like to collect cars, some people collect shoes, some people collect rare coins. Seems like Javier Tebas this year decided that he wanted a new hobby, which is to collect L's, because he had the CSD L, he had the administrative court rejecting his injunction L, now the L from Real Madrid. And who knows? Barcelona, if they wanted to, they could give him the final punch and knock him out. And I hope Barcelona do, because enough is enough. Javier Tebas is running this league into the ground. And instead of worrying about that, he's too worried about tweeting confidential information about Barcelona and also Real Madrid. Now, speaking of court cases, the decision in regards to Inigo Martinez has been delayed. Now, you might be wondering, what am I talking about? As you know, Inigo Martinez started in the match against Osasuna, where Barcelona won. Immediately after, Osasuna filed a case saying that Inigo Martinez was not supposed to play in that match because he had been called up by the Spanish national team. And since he got injured, there is a rule that FIFA that says that people who or players that abandon their national squads cannot play in their domestic leagues for 5 days after the international break is over, which of course that was within that time frame that Inigo Martinez played against Osasuna. Of course, Barcelona is not worried. They submitted their response to Osasuna's complaint, stating that Inigo Martinez was actually dismissed by the Spanish national team, so he did not abandon the Spanish national team. He got injured against the match in the match against Atletico Madrid, was it? Yes. And of course, because of his injury, the Spanish national team dismissed him, so he did not violate the FIFA rule. And in fact, the Royal Spanish Football Federation are in agreement with Barcelona, so Barcelona are not worried. But nonetheless, the news is that the La Liga body that is supposed to rule on this has decided to delay the decision a few more days because they still want to analyze all the papers that were submitted by Osasuna and Barcelona. So we should have a decision maybe by early next week. We'll see. Of course, as soon as a decision comes out, I will let you know. Now, someone who does need to be suspended, but not from his position, and instead from talking, because he cannot stop sticking his foot in his mouth, is Ronald Koeman, who has criticized Barcelona yet once again, something that he hasn't stopped doing since he left his post as Barcelona manager. Now, this is what Koeman said after Barcelona's victory in the Champions League. I don't think Barcelona are the favorites. There are other teams that play at Barcelona's level, like PSG and Arsenal, who I saw against Madrid. They are also capable of winning the Champions League. But yes, Barcelona is one of those teams. I think Barcelona's style of play is fun. We must admit that Dortmund, who are ranked 8th in Germany, although they are not a big team, they also have opportunities to score goals. I think the 4-0 scoreline was a bit deceptive, but the path Barcelona is on is clear, and you can see that the form the players can see that from the players' performance. So Ronald Koeman saying, 4-0, not a big deal, it's kind of deceptive, and after all, Dortmund, they're 8th in the Bundesliga, right? So it's not a big deal. They're not favorite. Come on, Koeman. Barcelona being favorites is not based on their performance on Dortmund alone. It's the fact that Barcelona have been thrashing team after team after team. They thrashed Bayern Munich. They thrashed Real Madrid twice. They thrashed Atletico de Madrid. They've had more than 20 thrashings this season. Barcelona are not only winning, but they're destroying teams. That's what makes them favorite, not the win 4-0 against Dortmund, but everything else this team has been doing all season. And again, I don't understand why Koeman continues to do this. Now, if you guys don't know, because many people don't, Ronald Koeman is an absolute legend as a player for Barcelona. And a lot of people don't realize that because he was a legend in the 90s. So, people are either not born or they were, in my case, little kids. But he was an absolute legend, one of the most important players for Johan Cruyff, the guy who gave us our first Champions League in the history of the club. He was kind of like what Ramos was for Real Madrid. That was Koeman for Barcelona in the 90s. Or what Puyol was for Barcelona in the 2000s. That's what was Koeman for Barcelona in the 90s. A complete player, a total beast, incredible defender who could also attack, do long passes, take penalty kicks, take free kicks. I mean, he was an absolute legend. If you haven't seen him play, watch his highlights. He was like amazing. And for him to spoil his legacy at Barcelona by these constant statements attacking Barcelona, I just don't understand it. Like, Koeman, what's going on, man? Like, look, you tried to be the coach here. You sucked. That's okay. You were still an incredible player. Why are you trying to ruin that legacy by constantly opening your mouth? Just shut up, bro. Like, I get that you're salty that you got fired, but you didn't get fired for a personal reason. You got fired because you sucked. Just admit it. Move on. But anyways, now we'll end this video with the news that Barcelona have now set a historical record in the club's history by having the best start to the year, because Barcelona so far this year in 2025, they have gone 23 matches undefeated with a total of 19 wins and 4 draws. Again, this is the best start to a year in the history of the club. And during these 23 matches, Barcelona have scored 71 goals and conceded 21. Again, 71 goals in 23 matches. That's absolutely insane. Now, Barcelona have gone 11 matches in La Liga undefeated, 5 in the Copa del Rey, 5 in the Champions League, and 2 in the Spanish Super Cup. This team is absolutely amazing. We are witnessing history, and this is why they are favorites to win the Champions League, Mr. Koeman. Not because of the Dortmund match, but because everything that Barcelona has been doing throughout all this season up to this point, and hopefully and for many, many more years to come. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be uploading another video shortly after this one, so make sure to check it out. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and as always, Visca Barça.